Welcome to Pick Up Tarot. This is your relationship reading. And we have the question, are you meant to be together? This is pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Timestamps are in the description box below for you to click on the pile that you've chosen so that you may begin watching. So pile number 1, we start off with the King of Swords, which is the foundation of this relationship. And it really is about being clear about who you are and what you want in a relationship, or what you want from a relationship. So if you've allowed other people to be more important over your own sort of importance or your own like routine or structure and your ways of going about your daily life, if you've allowed those people at the expense of your own sort of truth and the way that that you do things, we see that there could be a conflict in this relationship. So you've been your own authority, you've been autonomous for a while, and you're not told what to do. And this independence, this personality of yours cannot be easily manipulated by anything or any situation. You are truthful and trustworthy towards others, towards yourself. You can't be downplayed. You can't be led astray from that truth, okay? So your challenge is people having power over you, using power to take away from that routine, that structure of your life. And so what happens then is you feel like your life is out of control. It sort of dampens your chief goals and your desires. So you are less motivated and less set towards that vision that you had. And you may be feeling bitter about this, about losing that ambition, about losing those things that you had imagined or intended to do. And you feel as if there's kind of like a waste. You've been wasting time, not achieving the things that you had imagined or intended. So maintaining your career, your finances, your health, those things all sort of have not been handled with as much care during this, this process, during this time that you've sort of ventured into this relationship. And so you were not as pragmatic in your day-to-day life. So you may feel there's a lack of growth, there's a lack of stability here. And when you lose that personal fulfillment, when you lose your talents and abilities, or reaching the highest potential of your talents and abilities, then you start to feel betrayed. You've lost, it's personal betrayal. You've lost a part of yourself. You feel cut off from yourself, your personal interests and your abilities, and your promise that you've made to yourself. You've lost that care you've given, and also the care that you've given other people, because then you start to care less and less. If you see all these are signs of just not really being effective, breaking promises, being undependable. It shows really being a bad example here in this relationship. So we see someone who needs to adhere to their ideals and bring in people who will respect those ideals, to continue to do what's best for you, so you don't lose that structure and routine, which is so very important. That is the high value, and that is the high commitment that you give to yourself, that no relationship can take away. And so there is no other way around that. And we see conflict in the relationship when there is. So thank you, pile number 1. If you chose pile number 2, this is your reading. I did misplace the death card, so in this deck here, so I'm using one from another deck, and that is the foundation of this spread. So far, we see that you did go through a sort of a transformation at the start of this current relationship, and something changed. You let go of the old way, and your challenge was pretty much accepting the loss that occurred, along with any personal setbacks with that loss that you experienced through it. And so the relationship, suddenly you sprang into action. And this, to me, just seems like a quick rebound. Suddenly you're jumping into action, not really knowing where this is going, if this will be a success or failure, but just doing it. But we see in the hidden influence that this was aimless, and it felt like you were sort of drifting, not really living on purpose, really living on purpose to your life or your ideals. And it just felt like it was hasty or imprudent. And suddenly you felt like, you were doing something wrong, that you were just going through the motions and not really having any true meaning behind it. And the Hermit reverse does indicate hanging on to meaningless activity. So does the Eight of Pentacles reverse. So you feel like you were, there was no ambition towards the future, and you need to seek more guidance. So overall, the outcome is to really pursue something more of value or higher quality. Thank you, pile 2. So if you chose pile number 3, this is your reading. And the foundation of the relationship is showing that there may not be a clear vision for the future. There may be a lot of frustration. If this is a long distance relationship, you just are not able to close the gap. There could be lack of confidence, adventure, progress, a lack of those things as well. But your challenge is getting over this and really pulling yourself together, facing this loss for what it is. There could be like this problem reoccurring. You could be, it could be coming back to the same problems over again, and it's from a lack of acceptance. It seems like with the 10 of Cups, you've sort of wished upon this relationship, but in all reality, it's not really fostering any joy or connectivity. And so I get the message of be careful what you wish for, because I feel like your happiness, as long as you keep holding this flame, it's going to be neglected. So your hidden influence is that lack of maturity is really facing that reality, and it's showing an inability to cope with the situation. The inability to understand that there is a lack of progress. But the good news is that your potential future does show love coming in. So I feel this one promises a lot more affection, a lot more taking action, and actually being physically together. So thank you, pile number 3.